Today, I'm going to talk about Softmax Function. If you love learning AI just like me, Softmax is a must-know function. It is one of the most popular functions in the field. So, let's get started to learn and review Softmax Function together. Let's start with the learning objectives. So, by the end of this video, you'll be able to clearly explain what Softmax function is, what is the formula, how to calculate softmax values, how does it compare to sigmoid function. Lastly, what is the application in machine learning and artificial intelligence. What is softmax function? Softmax function takes a vector of real numbers and returns a vector of real numbers, where each value is between 0 and 1, and the sum of the output is equal to 1. From the example, you can see the input values can be positive, negative, greater than 1, and the softmax function transforms them into real values between 0 and 1, so that output can be interpreted as probabilities. If the input is small or negative, it returns a smaller probability. If input is larger, it returns a larger probability. But output values always remain between 0 and 1. So, how is output value calculated? Here is the formula for softmax. It takes a few steps to calculate the softmax values that works through the example. For each member of the input x, softmax first raises e to the power of that number. E to the power of any number is always positive. This ensures probability does not end up with negative number. Then softmax calculates the sum of all those values. Softmax then divides the result by the sum of those values to get a fraction of the whole. This makes sure all the output adds up to 1. That's finished division. Here, softmax returns a vector of the probabilities. And this is how softmax value is calculated. Now we're going to compare softmax with sigmoid function. First, sigmoid function is a special case of softmax function. If you have binary classification problem, sigmoid works well. On the other hand, if you have multi-class classification problem, then softmax is your choice. As we reviewed earlier, softmax returns a vector of probabilities. They are mutually exclusive. For sigmoid function, however, since there are only two classes, the probability of one class equals 1 minus the other class's probability. Therefore, for sigmoid function, the output is only a scalar. You may be wondering how softmax function might be used in ML/AI applications. First, softmax can be used in the final layer of neural network training for classification problems. Take convolution neural network as an example. If we're trying to identify a picture as a dog, a cat, or other animal, we can use softmax to predict output based on the probabilities. Softmax is also commonly used in the natural language processing. For example, in LLM, softmax is used to predict the next word or next token in the sentence. Similarly, softmax also plays a role in reinforcement learning. For example, using softmax function to decide between taking the action of exploitation, known for its reward probabilities, or taking an exploratory step called exploitation. If you're still here with me, congratulations. If you don't remember anything else, here's what I want you to take home. First, softmax is a function that transforms real numbers into probabilities, which is between 0 and 1 and add up to 1. And sigmoid function is just a special case of softmax. It has only 2 classes. Softmax can have multiple classes. Last, softmax is widely used in neural network, natural language processing, and reinforcement learning. And that's all for today. Happy learning!